morning, everyone. It's great to be back here. Welcome to Building the Future. It's great to be back here. It's been a year. What a year has it been? We've seen AI moving from experimentation to real impact. We've seen hundreds of companies developing software that are actually creating value right now. In fact, we are witnessing the fastest technology adoption in human history. More than 1.2 billion people across the world are enjoying and using artificial intelligence in their daily lives. But speed is not everything, and it does not guarantee progress. What truly matters is not just how AI is deployed, but how it's used, strategically, responsibly, and with purpose. 68% of companies across the world are using AI in their daily operations and transactions. But there is a group we call frontier companies that are actually taking more advantage. They started earlier, they experimented, and managed to get and embed AI into their business processes. And when AI gets embedded into the core business and to the core operations, value starts to surface. It shows up in how employees are more productive at work. It shows up in how companies are learning to rethink the way they interact with their customers, their constituents. It shows up in how businesses are re-engineered to deliver more value, or simply how innovation is accelerated. These companies work with principles that allow them to excel. They have an AI-first mindset. In fact, they think about AI as a new layer of productive software that sits on top of their business logic. These companies don't look at businesses and just throw AI on top of them. Leaders ask themselves, how can I do this work? How can work be done when AI is present and omnipresent? Because if we just put AI on top of the old, we're going to make the old simply faster. Skills are a key component of frontier companies. So every employee, every person in the company becomes a manager of AI. The core set of skills on executing tasks move into judgment, orchestration, accountability, knowing what to ask, what to trust, and when to intervene. They look at tool set slightly different. It's not about which tool I have to run AI in isolation. It's about integrating. Platform coherence matters much more than tool selection. Governance, security, observability are key components of how winning companies are doing AI today. And last but not least, evals. Integrating evaluation in the business process is not just about how fast or how much I'm deploying AI, it's about measuring the impact, measuring the key KPIs, progress, productivity, quality, costs. It's about understanding what's working, observing agents for behavior, quality, drifts. Because when we move from prompting to agent work, evaluations is not something that happens once. It has to be part of the everyday business. Frontier success comes from a very well orchestrated platform that is connected, that is secure, that is managed and governed in one simple way. And it's grounded in a simple equation, intelligence and trust. If you lose one of them, the whole value goes away. Intelligence is what you know, your IQ, your particular business understanding, logic, your data, your context. It's grounded on what you know, and AI sits on top of it. Because models can be commoditized, but your intelligence and differentiation cannot. A few months ago, 3-4 months ago, we really wanted to get our hands into GPT 5.2. Then a month later, we saw Gemini 3. Then now is Claude. Next month will be something else. Models commoditize, but intelligence is irreplaceable. And then the component of trust is not a minor one. Trust is the factor that enables us to move from experimentation into real value. It's that social permission that we have to scale. It's grounded on observability, knowing what AI does, what it looks, what it has permissions to do, and what it's delivering. Our family of copilots have been empowering everyone in the world. We are working at school, at home, and of course at work, touching all high domains of knowledge, from scientists to security professionals, from the developers to consumers, and of course, information workers. We're updating our Copilot, M365 Copilot in the information work to move from give us answers to executing tasks, to become that real coworker that we will all be waiting for. Copilot agents bring the power of agents exactly where the work happens. To work, to Word, to Excel, to PowerPoint, we'll be able to run complex tasks and long-term tasks right from where we are used to work. We've been working with Anthropic really hard to get their models and intelligence into Copilot Cowork to bring long-term pervasive tasks, now declaring intent, and Copilot will go through our tools, will go through our data, will go through our information, and will give us feedback on what's happening, allowing us to steer, change, monitor, and of course, enjoy the outcome. But to show you a little bit more in action, I have my good friend Serge. Good morning, Serge.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. All right, so I was asked how I could use Copilot agent mode to create a big event like this one. So I'm going to do a quick demo, and I'm going to start with Excel. So we are in Excel, and I already have Copilot open, and I'm going to press here on Auto and select Cloud, which is the latest model of Anthropic. And I'm going to ask, build an event tracker for 7,000 users. So it's attendees, it's a lot of people. And I'm going to select this file, which is a file with a lot of data that was shared by the team. So let's go. And we can see that this is a blank file, right? And actually what Copilot is doing is looking into the data, and it's already doing some work for me. So we can see on the bottom, it's already created dashboard, the speakers, the customers, and it's still looking. So on the right side, we can see how it's reasoning. And on the left side, on the screen, we can already see that it's doing things for me. So here we go. And again, I don't have to do anything, right? So I just point to the file, and it's going to understand how we can restructure this information into this one. So this saves me a lot of time, obviously. And on the right side, we can see a summary of what you've done, so I can understand how was the thinking done and how the file work. So from here, I can share this file to my team, and I can start, obviously, working on the event. So next, I'm going to use a Word document, a template. And a template file, normally, you have to compare two files and to start to fill this file. So instead of that, I want to win a lot of time. I'm going to use Copilot again. I'm going to type fill the template with, and I'm going to use /event. Obviously, you could go with the old-fashioned and press on plus and go through the Explorer, but I know the file name, so I'm going to type this one and launch. And you can already see Copilot working for me. So typically, when you ask something to AI, it gives you a suggestion, something to copy, and right now it's actually working for me, so I don't have to do anything else. Obviously, I can review at the end, and I can still continue to interact with Copilot at the end, and sorry, to ask more things if I need so. And to finish, I'm going to PowerPoint. And in PowerPoint, I'm going again to select the latest model of Cloud, which is already available in Office. And I'm going to type create a presentation about how to create a big event, so I can present this to the team. With a small switch, I'm going to ask to keep a small space on the first slide for a photo of the team of this session. So let's go. One more time, Copilot is thinking. You can go to the web, or you can go internally to your company and look for internal templates, logos, colors that you want to use. And you can already see that he created a bunch of slides, so 9 slides, we could ask for more. It's just an interaction. So you interact with Copilot all the time until you get what you want. So let's look at the slides quickly. That looks, I think, amazing. At least it would take me a lot of time to do something similar. So let's go back to the first slide. And as promised, he spares some space for the first picture that I asked. So now I can simply copy past the picture that I want. So let's do that. And there we go. And let's go to presentation mode. And that's it. So enjoy the day.
Thank you.
And thank you, Andres. Back to you.
Don't we look good? Don't we look good there? Thank you, Serge. So for agents to actually deliver real work, they need to be grounded in enterprise reality, not just in general knowledge. We're bringing together the layer of the IQs, putting together all the company's knowledge in and exposing it for agents to be created and managed. Work IQ understands collaboration signals, understands intent, relationships. In other words, understands how human collaboration is happening, allowing agents to work on where the work really, on what really matters, where the work really happens, not in the information we have. Fabric IQ will pick up unstructured and operational data, analytical data, all sort of information, and model how the business works. So agents can be grounded in how the real business operates, not just what people might be saying. And last but not least, Fabric IQ, Foundry IQ will make sense of their business context, will understand policies, history, context, and expose that to the agents so they understand how the enterprise knowledge and where it is, and work based on that instead of hallucinations. And to rule them all, to bring that governance and security, we're introducing Agent 365. Good morning, Joe Victoria. I don't think we can hear you.
Yeah. So,
Now you
thank you, Andres. I'd like to welcome you to the Agent 365 dashboard. So this is the control plane for everything that is agents related. You can have, and you can see how many agents you have in your organization, how many active users, and how some trends evolve over time. You can see agents from Microsoft, but also agents from third parties as well. And you can have, as an IT admin, you can see agents that have risk associated to them or are ownerless. So, and if I go again to here, and we can go explore all agents, this is all powered by Entra in the background. And you can see every agent that you have in your organization, as well as some metrics related to it. Since I'm an IT admin, I will check agents that have risk, and I will see this Java support agent. When I click an agent, I can have a quick overview of what this agent is, what is the data and tools that they access, OneDrive, SharePoint, wherever. I can also see security and compliance policies associated with this agent, as well as risk associated to it. I can see the permissions that this agent has behind it, and I can take some action to these permissions right from this portal. And since I don't like what this agent is doing and the risk that is involved, I will block it. And now anyone in the organization can't access it anymore. If I go to requests, I can also see requests that people made in my organization to make these agents available to everyone. Once again, I can open it, I can see an overview, I can see data and tools, policies, and permissions associated with them. If I'm okay with it, I can then publish it or reject it in the whole organization. Last thing that I want to show you is the map. So I'm a very visual guy, and this makes real sense to me. So I can quickly see how this agent connects with other agents, and I can see the agent sprawl on my organization. And if I then open the agent, I can see some more stats about these agents, like activity in the past days, which is the users that use it more, and some other stuff. So thank you, Andres. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joao. For all this to come together and to work, it needs to be founded in a solid cloud, and now we call it AI token factory. AI is no longer a feature. is becoming an economic indicator. And performance is now no longer going to be measured on how fast or the quality of a model, but instead, what are we doing with the energy and the investments that we put together? How many tokens can we produce? And this outcome will give us the permission to scale. If those tokens are put to a good use, they're put to create public value, to increase productivity, to create growth, then we will get the trust and the social license to operate. The next wave of innovation and progress will not come from bigger models. It will come from better efficiency. That's why we created a fungible network of data centers all across the world that allow us to do inference, pre-training, and post-training at every time, at every moment, and every place, wherever our customers need it. Just 100 kilometers down south from here in Sines, our very first investment of this kind in Portugal is already connected to that network, not only serving European customers, but putting Portugal in the world's AI map. Since 2020, we made a commitment to the world that we will be carbon negative by 2026. And so we're actually making great progress. We have invested a lot in engineering and in procurement, and I'm very happy to say that all this network, all these data centers run today 100% on sustainable energy. A big part of this infrastructure sits here in Europe. And we want to make sure we stay close to what European, Portuguese customers need and what their governments are concerned about, acting with responsibility. But this responsibility is a lot more than policies and documents. It's translating into real innovation, real investments, and real technology to bring to you. So we are announcing today Microsoft Sovereign Private Cloud, in which we will be allowing our customers or helping our customers to execute their infrastructure, their AI, and their productivity in both connected and disconnected environments. And so this is great. We have technology, but at the end of the day, where and how are we making an impact? This is a question we ask ourselves very often at Microsoft. Because all of us here, we have a mission, and we need to get that permission to scale and to operate. And with that, we partnered with our friends at EY Parthenon and asked them to go back to the study we did in 2023, 22, published in 23, and see whether we have made progress in digitalization of the economy, if the new tools and all this technology that we bring into customers and to the market is actually making any kind of progress. I am thrilled to share with you that we together, this community is creating 7.3 billion euros of economic value for the country. It's a staggering 48% growth since last time we talked. But not only that, our customers are getting higher returns per euro invested, up to 9.6 euros of value created for each euro invested in Microsoft technology and services. And last but not least, we are powering a community of 35,000 jobs that are out there serving our customers, serving the market. And there will be more to come as soon as our AI investments in country get to the real maturity that we expect. This is the result and the impact that we, all of us as a community, are bringing to the market. And it will be, for many, the legacy we're leaving behind. So we're here at Microsoft, we're extremely proud and happy to work with you to empower every person and every organization in Portugal to achieve more. Thank you very much. Have a good day.